Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In this reading I'm looking into the energy around this new digital ID card, brick card, that they're talking about bringing in the UK. Now some of you might know they already have this in place in some other countries around the world. I believe Sweden, UAE, obviously China. In Australia they're bringing it in December of this year, and I believe eventually all countries around the world will have this digital ID in place. That will be the first step. The next step, I believe, this is my opinion obviously, but I did get a dream and vision about this. The next step I think will be a chip that's implanted. In my dream it was in the finger. Could be the hand, head. And so then people will become part of the centralised system and essentially be a number, and be controlled. If you haven't seen that reading, check it out. It was Global Predictions, My Dream and Visions Might Shock You. So that's where I feel things are heading for the world. But I've got to say, I had another dream last night. Spirit knew I was planning to do this reading today, so I believe that's why. And in my dream, I remember there was a panel, I think it was about 4 people, and I was at a keyboard and they were saying to me what to input. And I put ID, and I believe it was 517. I remember there were numbers anyway. Could be wrong with the number, but that's what came through. I also had a yellow phone. Now yellow I often associate with the solar plexus, which is yellow. It's about life force, healing, health, I would say as well. So that dream was showing me something else. That was showing me an ID in the future that's given to us, where we can then receive healing frequencies, beds, light beds, whatever you want to call it. So you see, I'm seeing 2 different worlds, 2 different paths. I've said this quite a lot. Obviously the 3D, 5D split, we're seeing it widen at the moment, by the way. There's a divide happening. And some of us are in the middle trying to hold the light workers out there. And so they're the 2 paths I see. For those who have been through a lot in their lives and they've come out the other side, seen the light, they have faith, I believe they will enter the new world where there's healing that I just mentioned. But the others who've been drawn in by the dark, addicted to the system that's been implemented by dark forces and that energy behind the scenes, I think they're going to go down the other path of eventually receiving the chip, or whatever it's called, the mark of the beast, is what I see that as. So that's really strongly coming through with those dreams. I've been shown both. So use your discernment, I would say. First of all, this is to everyone, by the way, not just the UK. I do have to mention that if any of you would like help with that, I've been guided recently to start doing guidance podcasts and meditations on how to enhance your spiritual gifts. I've just done one on how to open your third eye. 6 ways to open your third eye as a podcast, and then there's a guided meditation that helps you open your third eye and remove blockages. And it can really help you discern between the truth and what's fake, because there's a lot out there that's fake that people are getting drawn into. I'm seeing it. Just be mindful of that. So you see, I'm doing it all to help you because I feel a need for it at the moment in the collective. So they're available for Patreon members, and And also, if you'd like to just purchase them individually, I've put them in my coffee shop as well. The links are in the description box if you're interested. So, back to the UK. Some of you might have seen, I think there have been a few polls that they've done, asking people if they'd sign up to this ID card. And I think it's been around 57% have said they would sign up. They agree with it, which is quite interesting. So there we're seeing the divide in the UK. I was just thinking before, what about if no one signed up? Then what would happen? Be interesting, wouldn't it? But you see, it's up to us as a country to decide. You don't have to do it. I mean, who is it that's pulling the strings? Who thinks they own our country is what you want to ask yourself, I would say, first of all. I think it really does depend on the mentality of the people. Because I was also thinking about China this morning, you know, the way things have progressed there. So they've had their social credit system for a long time. Everyone is tracked. But now it's accelerated recently. Some of you might have seen online, they've got, I believe, QR codes at their doors. So people can scan it and see what someone's score is. I think you can also report people. Well, that's quite normal in China. They've had spies for years, linking back to the regime. But speaking of the regime, the reason I'm mentioning this is what they've been through, you know, as a country. They went through a time where they were essentially being brainwashed. I mean, they had to read Chairman Mao's thoughts and recite them. So it's like they were becoming robots, you know. You will think like me, you will do like me. Someone trying to act like God. And people went along with it. And so now, it's no surprise that they've gone along with it in China. What about in the UK? I see more people in the UK speaking up. I was thinking the Peasants' Revolt this morning, which is good. But we've still got that divide. So let's see, I guess. I'm going to pull, first of all, an energy card just to see the energy of the UK. Because with those polls, I don't always, you know, take them as 100% accurate. It's also the word, they shift the wording, they change the wording, and even results. I mean, do you think the results in polls are accurate? Well, I don't, but anyway, let's see the energy of the UK. Wow, we got the Magician and the Mirror that's come out. Now, first of all, intuitively, I'm just looking at it like hot and cold. So there's the divide that I was saying about, you know, that I'm feeling. Some people are very passionate about this, against it, because they know that ultimately it's about control and removing people's freedom, tracking people, which is just wrong. But anyway, that's my opinion. And then, you know, the colder energies, let's say, that I'm seeing here, I guess they're indifferent. They could be a little bit lacking in connection to their soul, is what I want to say. So, you know, there's some healing needed still in some people. But I've just grabbed the book to have a look at if there were any other messages. This is really interesting. That's what it says. When you receive the Magician upright, you are put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life. And just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. Now, isn't that relevant? Just what I was saying about, we can turn this around. If you're passionate about this on this side, then you can do something. We could create a new system. We don't have to be a part of that system. That's what I see happening. For those that don't go along with it, there'll be new communities set up with medical professionals, lawyers, people providing food, jobs. That's what I'm seeing in my vision. For those people, so it's about having faith and no fear, essentially. So yeah, you are, the thoughts that you put out there are what you create, and your actions as well. So that's really interesting. Let's see with the tarot. I'm going to ask a few questions now. What will happen if they implement this card, which I think they will, but we'll see. Let's see what may happen, because energy can shift with tarot cards, but Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Well, this is about security. But notice the one coin, one currency, one world currency. I've mentioned this before in my readings. Digital currency as well. Yeah, that's what I'm getting there. And so if you're not part of the system and part of this digital currency, one currency, you're excluded. Anything else that might happen? But we've got the Fool, which is a new chapter. Yeah, definitely a new chapter. We've got the Sun though, and that links with the yellow in my dream. Yeah, that's interesting. So, this could be positive. It depends. Let's see if we can get any more on this. Things can turn around at any moment, I'm hearing. Wow, everyone. The magicians, we had the Magician and the Mirror before, and now we've got the Magician in tarot. You can't make this up, can you? And the Magician is about manifesting. You have all the tools on the table, like the Magician, to create the world you desire, as I said with that one. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. It could be a positive thing. With the Fool, first two major arcana, the Fool Magician, 0-1. We've got 1-0-1, by the way, as numbers. This is a fresh chapter that we're going to have, it would seem, in the UK. I'm just wondering here, with all this sort of new energy, if this is like the new world that I often see in my visions, where I see that there aren't governments. It's going to be very different. There's like one sovereign government, let's say. Seems to be what we're getting here. So let's see, anything else on the ID. I'm being guided to stop. Let's ask. We shouldn't really ask yes/no questions with the tarot, but I want to ask, will the ID brick card happen? Yes or no? Let's see what Spirit tells us. Well, there will be a change with the Wheel of Fortune, but you see, like the Magician in the Mirror, this is why we can't always get definite answers with tarot, because it does depend on the energy of the collective. But with these two, it's like it depends on people's choices. Which way will the wheel turn? In our favour? If we choose that, yes. If we choose to not go along with it, it all depends. We've got destiny here. It's like this is meant to happen. It's interesting, we've got the yellow again. We had the yellow there. And we got the 5 of Swords that's come out. I'm going to get another card just to clarify. Because in this card, I read cards intuitively, we've got a sword pointing up. Which can show, well, it's pointing to the divine, isn't it? Can be positive, so that could mean yes. Anything else? Wow, 2 5s. And the Page of Swords. Now the Page of Swords, those of you who know tarot, is the spy. Surveillance. So I'm getting a yes with these cards. I mean, when we get 5s as well, it means change. It can also mean freedom though. But you know, this card's 5 of Cups is about loss, grief, sadness. Potentially. This card can show sabotage. A bit of a dark energy, to be honest, in these cards. I'm getting tears come to my eyes suddenly. Wow. Yeah, like the person here. So there's a bit of emotion. Make sure you don't drop into fear. And feel like, you know, I've got to do it. You know, panic. That's what I'm suddenly feeling. But with these cards, you know, so with the Page, surveillance, it could very well happen. 5s mean change, as I said before, but they can also mean freedom. So, you see, the change is up to us. Wow, yeah, we've got a yes from Spirit with the Ace. I don't sugarcoat my readings, I'm just reading what's coming through. So it looks like it will go ahead. But what's interesting, if we look at the cards, is the divide that I said about, which we're seeing in that card as well. And up here we've got this new world. And down here we've got surveillance, chaos, conflict, loss, sadness. Wow, I'm getting a lot of emotions there, especially with water in the cards. So it's like the 2 different timelines I said about from my dreams. It really does depend on the energy. That's really what determines it. I can't say for sure really which way it will go, but I'm being guided now So everyone, I'm just pulling out my cards. Just to pull out some cards for guidance. For those watching who may be dropping into fear, thinking, what am I going to do? Well, there's always a way. It might mean making changes, which has come out with the fives. But would you rather sell your soul, or would you rather be free? And we got birth of creation, potential growth. Yeah, so we could see this as a positive thing. Growing something new, which we've got with the ace that's come out there. Two different agendas, two different timelines that are coming through clearly. But there's going to be something new as a result, whichever way it goes. So you're being guided to grow, expand your awareness. As I was saying before, about using your own gifts to discern whether you feel this is right. What does your soul tell you? Well, the problem is, I've got to be honest with you, in society, a lot of people are disconnected from their souls, as I said at the beginning. So they don't know. They just think, oh, all right, we've got to do this. We're being told we've got to do it. Right, let's go and do it. Sign up. It's anxiety. It's that programming. They are telling us we must do it. We do it. Whereas if you disconnect from all the things out there, open your third eye. As I was saying, if you want guidance from me on that, it's there, or from other people, wherever you want. But that's what I think people need. Trust your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it. It's up to you. I'm just here to guide. Wow. The stag, very powerful. And it says, lead the way, light your own path. Yeah. Lead the way for others. Help them awaken and see the light. The more of us that do this, the more we'll move into that higher timeline that's there. And light your own path, yeah, seeing the light within. Go within like the hermit, and you will see the light. It will be very clear if you do that. Whereas if you are distracted, watching too many things, listening to too many people, you'll get confused. There's nothing wrong with listening to different people. However, if you listen to loads of different opinions, I'm talking like more than, say, 3 or 4, you're going to start to get confused. And this is 23, which breaks down to a 5 again, 555. You might keep seeing that number. Can show change and freedom. The stag is very strong. Have strength like the stag to see the light, lead the way. Ground your light as well. Yeah, see the chakras there, chakra system. It's very important, as I said, about what I've been looking into, the third eye, and the solar plexus that came through. So I might do some more things on other chakras, how to ground yourself, and see the light. It says, let your soul shine. Yeah. You will see very clearly if you are aligned and healed, and that's what we need in the world. I believe. Healing, leaders who lead the way in a positive sense, you know, not leading people down a dark path. So there's the guidance, it would seem. And the bottom of the deck says illuminate the shadow, focus on a solution. Yeah. There you go. So it's like we're going to have leaders step up, I feel. Because I'm really feeling it in the collective, in the UK, that is. Maybe this is going to be where the change comes, because we've had fives come out. People who lead the way, see it as a potential and look at solutions as well. That's what we need. To not let them overpower and control, because that's all that they want, essentially. And you know, with the magician as well, I'm just sort of being guided to say that can also be shown in a negative light, like someone who's trying to manipulate the masses. And it's our job to see through that. If you trust your intuition, you'll see right through it. You'll see, hang on, there's an agenda here and it doesn't feel right. So trust that feeling within, as I said. It's interesting, I've just realised we had the Fool and Birth of Creation both talking about a fresh start that is possible. I would say from this. Now, also with this card, I just wanted to read a little bit from the book that I thought was quite pertinent. It says, bringing in new light energy through your crown and anchoring your sacred self through your earth chakra will assist the grounding process. More importantly, never give power to anyone to dim your light. You are a lighthouse and deserve to shine your light across the night. Yeah, that never give your power to anyone to dim your light is what really stood out to me there. You know, you do not have to do anything that doesn't feel right. And don't have fear about what the consequences will be either, I would say. So your choice, but definitely try and ground yourselves, I would say, and work on healing would be the main thing that's come out here in the guidance. Lighting your own path and letting your soul shine as well, coming through. So I really hope you've enjoyed this reading, everyone. I'll be back soon to do another reading as well. Check out my other readings that I've done. I did one on Australia as well and what's happening there. And there'll be more to come. So thank you for being here. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Leave your comments. Let us know what you feel. Are you in the UK? How do you feel about this? Speak up. Let your soul shine, as it says, you know, in what you say. So speak with light and love. We can do this. That's what I'm being guided to say. So thank you for being here, everyone. I'll see you all very soon.